God damn it. Sorry for that delayed response. Just trying to get home through my subdivision, and there's this one-way outlet that traffic is only supposed to go one way, but of course, all the fucking time, people come from the other way. That's why I was sitting there, even though they're not supposed to go that way. I'm very exhausted. I was running around trying to get the birth certificate thing sorted and figured out, which I think I do. But something I wanted to discuss, one of the reasons that, and it's mainly just because of where I'm at, a big contributor to my stress and anxiety is traffic issues, considering I was in that really bad wreck. But Cleveland, Tennessee, I don't know if any of y'all are familiar, but I've lived in many, many places, and it's like, if you look around, it's pretty, whatever. There's no, as far as like business wise or upholding the law or standards or rules or anything, there's just no standards here whatsoever. Since I've moved here, which is part of the reason why my car is all beat all to hell, I've been hit and run 4 times since I've moved here. I'm guessing none of them had insurance is why they ran. Every day, it's like basically adult bumper cars. There's no, like, nobody cares. Everyone is just aware of themselves and only care about themselves. So nobody signals, nobody yields. I watch people sit at red lights that just decide that they don't want to wait anymore and just go. That's a weekly thing. 2 of the times that my car got hit was at one of my first jobs here. There's just many things that I've never dealt with anywhere else that I'm dealing with here. Just the level of incompetence and stuff is just, there's literally no words to describe. But something that I've dealt with here is people that cut across parking lots. You know how parking lots have aisles, and between the aisles there's the parking spaces. These motherfuckers, they will start at the entrance or whatever and cut completely diagonally, going between the parking spaces and between parked cars, hauling ass diagonally across the parking lots. And one time I was clipped. Literally, I just got out of my car and went to step out and freaking clipped my shirt. I was like, oh shit. And they just freaking sped off because, obviously they probably were fucked up. No insurance, yada yada, the norm for here. But just now, which, of course I didn't think to record because I was too busy, I don't know, just avoiding the situation and hoping that they didn't hit anyone else. But this old lady in a white Lexus RX, we're going along, and she just cuts me off and changes lanes across the intersection, which I don't know how it is, but in most places I've lived at, that's a no-no. You don't cut across the intersection. You get through the intersection and you change lanes before or after the intersection. So she cut me off and, veers across, and I get next to her and I'm like, hey, like, you about hit me and cut me off. She just speeds up, cuts me off again. There's no signaling or whatever. She almost rear-ends somebody. She's just freaking all over the goddamn place. And I'm like, holy shit, this lady's either fucked up, having a moment or something. So I get in front of her and I slow down and I'm like waving. I'm like, hey, like, wake up, you know, you need to let people know, like, you're signaling or whatever. You almost hit me, you're almost hitting everyone around us. This dumb bitch proceeds to get out her phone and act like she's taking pictures of my car, like I was in the wrong. So as soon as she whips that out, I get back over, and she gets up next to me and hits the gas, and the light changes in front of me to red, and she, by the freaking paint of that bumper, she almost hit a car that was sitting at the red light, and she swerved and ran on through the intersection and took off. She was at the next intersection up, and I was in the turn lane, she was in the straight lane, and my lane was red and hers was green, and everyone had gone, and I'm sitting there next to her. I'm like, lady, fucking the light's green, like, people are honking at you, hello. And like as soon as it turned yellow and about to turn red, she like blew on through. But yeah, and of course, like, I'd seen no less than 2 cops during this whole thing, but you know, more than likely they were freaking that's something else. Like, I've been next to cops here that are texting on their phones and that have sat through red lights and then freaking blow right through it whenever they notice that, oh shit, I've sat through a green light. You know. Gah! But yeah, I went living from somewhere where it was borderline anal. Like, you know, if you didn't yield, if you didn't signal, you know, whatever, you were getting a ticket. Sucks, but that's how you teach people to not do it again, you know. But that's just not here. There's and like I said, with the work situations, my first job here, the caregiving thing, I was usually the only person at the houses because they couldn't keep anybody. And there at the end, they were sending me to houses that were they were empty. Like, the people had already either passed on, or, you know, I guess they hadn't relayed the message or whatever. But yeah, there was like 2 properties that I drove out that were like, obviously no one was living there anymore. Like, the front door, everything was covered in vines and everything. And I called and, like, you know, are you sure this is the right address? Yeah. And yeah, they're like, oh, really bad, you know, blah blah blah. How do you not know? How do you not know? The next job, which was a dream job of mine, I wanted to work at a pet store. I got a job, aquatic specialist, um, which worked out for a while, but there was just so much contradiction and bullshit, and as far as rules and stuff. Sorry, I was starting to pan off. Um, like, oh, these rules are enforced, blah 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 blah. But management, the couple that were there, would they would literally be like standing under a sign that says "Don't do this" while doing it, and I didn't do any of these things anyways. It was mostly like, don't smoke next to the building, don't vape inside. You know, I don't do any of those things anyways. But any fucking time I was the slightest bit behind or something, oh fuck, I heard about it. Um, this one girl who shouldn't have her job. She's been rehired 4 times. Um, One day I was up at the register and having my ass handed to me, and I called for assistance, and I see her walking up slowly, dragging her feet from the back, and I noticed in front of her there was some merchandise that had, you know, got knocked off the shelf or whatever. And I watched this bitch step over it. I'm like, you could not freaking just bend over, pick it up, and just set it back on the damn shelf. You literally just stepped over it. So at that point, I'd lost all respect for her. This is the one that still has her job and had been rehired 4 times. But yeah, even if I had like a day off, they would go above and beyond to fuck up the tanks. They would overfeed to the point where there would be a half-inch layer of food across all the bottoms of the freaking aquariums. The freaking filters and stuff be blocked up with food. Um, yeah, and I was on morning shift, and morning shift cleans all the cages and everything. And I'd been taken off and put on close shift, and I was on it for about a month. And uh, I had a customer come up to me, and they were like, "Hey, I'm pretty sure there's a dead rat in one of the enclosures over here." I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I will take care of that." And so I went over, see the enclosure, and it fucking reeks. Um, like whenever I opened it, the smell. Immediately noticed that the food and stuff had been topped off, but it had not been cleaned, period, since I had been taken off morning shift. I found the dead rat, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and clean this. I don't care if I'm behind on my stuff. I don't care, because obviously this is a priority. This needs to be done. I find another dead rat, and another dead rat. 4 from freshly dead to skeleton with a little bit of skin left on it. I took them out and I laid them across. Sorry, it's a little emotional because it's like, what the fuck? And took the pictures and I showed them to the manager, and I was like, I can't be the only one here that gives a shit. I really wanted this job, but y'all make it a point to make it as difficult for me as possible while simultaneously doing an atrocious job yourself and somehow getting away with it. I'm not going to be here to witness any more animal abuse. I'm done. And I quit. And recently, I had tried another job. I've had some barista and lots of cashier experience before, and Dunkin' Donuts here was hiring. I was called in for like a little 5-minute interview. Just, hey, you have experience? Cool. Come in tomorrow. We'll get you started on the training tapes and all that, and we'll get you trained the next 2 or 3 days. I come in, which immediate red flag was it looked exactly the same. I'm very anal when it comes to cleanliness, organization, and stuff like that, and it was a shit wreck. But like I said, everything was the same. Like stuff that I noticed, stains or whatever, were still there. So I was like, uh-oh. But I go to the back, and she's like, yeah, we're not doing the videos or anything today. I gotta head out. You'll talk to this chick here for any help that you need. And she 86 out of there. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I think the lady's name was Martha. I was like, hey, Martha, do you care to help me out some? She's like, yeah, I'll do what I can, but I've only been here for 4 days. So until she left, she was asking me, if not more questions than I was asking her, and I had to keep reminding her and the 2 other people, these 2 17-year-olds, I have had no training. I have not watched a video. I know nothing. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying my best here, but like, this is my first time back here, like, and they're like, why? Like, I don't understand, like, why they didn't at least show you a video or like give you any kind of training. I'm like, ask them. And speaking of asking them, so the Martha chick left, and it was just me and the 2 17-year-olds. They just, honestly, they could care less about their job. They were on their phones most of the time and just kind of half-assing, drink orders and sending them out. And I was on the cook side, making the whatever avocado toast and all that bullshit. But I didn't know how to make any of it, so a lot of it I was just having to, is this and this and this? Okay, here you go. The registers go down about 2.5 hours before I'm scheduled to leave. They can't figure it out. Both of them are on the horn, on speakerphone, and I hear them on the voicemail with the manager that had hired me. Hey, so and so, registers are down. What are we supposed to do? Do we need to close the store? Do we need to do this? Do we need whatever? And they just couldn't be bothered. And So after about 20 minutes or so trying to figure out, and obviously me being new, I'm in no position to tell them what to do. They decided to give everything away for free. So I don't care at this point. I'm just trying to like get these orders made. But yeah, they're just like come into the lobby or pull up to the window, and yeah, the last 2.5 hours, everything was just given away for free. Nothing was written down, so I just I felt like freaking, I don't know, sanctuary, but instead of sanctuary, inventory. Because it was just absolutely insane. I always assumed that a first day at a job is going to be bad, but so yeah, like I said, last 2 hours, everything was just handed out for free or whatever. Nothing was written down. Store was as dirty since the day before. I left whenever I was scheduled, and I texted and left a bunch of messages with that manager, and she was like, "Oh, I was unaware. I had no idea." And I was like, "Girl, I was listening to them while they had your voicemail on speakerphone leaving you voicemails yesterday. There's no way you did not know. And if you didn't know, then that just shows how bad of a manager you are. Because it is part of a manager's job to know." So, yeah, and I had 2 interviews today, and got to them, and freaking, like I said, the 34 years of my living on this earth, even after my house burned down with me in it, I had like a handful of things, and my birth certificate and my social security card, which I've always had on me, and gone, just gone. Like, I have no idea. So, but thankfully, a really good friend of mine has helped me out with that. So I've hopefully got a new birth certificate in the mail. Uh, Hopefully it'll be here in like a week or so. But yeah, you can't apply to jobs without a birth certificate or a social security card. But you know, the insane irony of having a couple interviews and, oh, you don't have it. But so, a little setback. I'm trying not to let it, you know. But yeah. Another venting video. I hope everyone is well. I cannot thank you all enough for all the kind words and support. Y'all are the only reason why I'm continuing to try. Like, I love y'all so much. Thank you so much. And hopefully see you soon, and hopefully things will be a little bit better, and maybe I'll be a little bit bigger. Take care. See you soon.